Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It is now Sunday it's 23rd or something. If I look at my watch, then the camera's going to go wonky, so I'm not going to look now. It's Sunday and it's in January and it's sometime. Yeah, it's a Sunday vlog. I didn't get a chance during the week and yeah, basically I've just nipped out now. I'm actually outside my youngest boy's previous primary school, just because it was a nice place to stop, I thought. So evidently we've had a bit of snow out there. It's been freezing cold this week, absolutely freezing, and consequently work's not been that warm either. But with the roasters on, it soon heats up a little bit at least. So yeah, it's been a pretty mixed kind of week. I think we've hit the January kind of slowdown finally after the initial ramp up from being shut and then just generally seeming to be busy. So it's been a bit busier. Yeah, it's just kept us on our toes a little bit. But cold weather, few nights of snow. So we had some snowy mornings. I mean, not lots really. It was just a little covering on the road. But you know, snow, and just generally cold, around 0 to -2, 3, overnight. Daytime not really getting over 0 much, so just remaining cold. So yeah, it's been pretty kind of, I don't know, miserable in a way kind of week. I think it might warm up a little bit next week, but still only around 3-4 degrees, so not exactly boiling. So yeah, work's been steady away. We've ploughed on with stuff, just trying to catch up and get things sorted out and just keep up with things as well. The p19coffee.co.uk website's had a full new theme. That kind of became a bit of a... Been thinking about it for a long time and never got round to doing it, just because I knew it was going to be a lot of work. And then the discount structure we're using, which is discount primarily very popular with people who buy green coffee, because they could buy 5 or 10, 15, 20, whatever, and get a discounted price. So the price reduces the more volume they buy. And that's really popular. And on Monday night, I had to add some new green coffees, and you have to turn off the discounts to add them and then turn them back on again. And when I turned them back on again, it sent me 50 odd emails, because pretty much every product had an error for some random reason. I don't know why. So I contacted the support people and they sort of said, oh, there are some issues here and there, but there's a new version. Why aren't you using that? And it's kind of like, well, I'm not using it because the old one worked fine until now. So yeah, in the end, I decided to upgrade to the new one, which is better. It's faster and more easy to use. But it was kind of like, well, if you're going to have to because they had to put new code in, which would replace the old code that was there and put new in. And I was like, you know, the old theme is just riddled with old messing about that I did, plus that old code and everything else. So it would probably be easier to start from scratch with a nice clean one that'll be easy to put the new code in for them. And then I'd have to go back through and re-add my bits and pieces, which I've been slowly working on. So selected a new theme, which I like. It looks good, modern, very easy to sort of tweak things and whatever else. So that's up live now and progressing. So that was a fair bit of work, I've got to admit, a fair chunk of my evenings this week. Hive blockchain's just been ploughing on. It's just been running itself at the moment. I've had a server go down at home, fun enough, of all places. No idea what's happened to it. It's decided to become unresponsive. Did that Friday night. Everything had kind of crashed on it, I thought. Well, most things had. So, oh, right, I'll just reboot the server and then it'll all be up again nicely. Reboot the server, never came up. Consequently, hard rebooted it, everything else. It never DHCPs, so it's never available on the network to log into. So I'm assuming something's gone critically wrong with the Ubuntu 2004 install. So I was going to just wipe and start again, but I don't have a display to connect to that server because it's in the attic. So it's a bit stuck. I've got displays at work, but I won't get it work. So I spent yesterday trying to produce a headless USB installer, because Ubuntu installers now, when you get to the installation menu, which you normally have to do in front of the computer with a display, server, it does give you the option to log in via SSH, so you could remotely control the install parameters. There's only a few things to set, and then it installs. Then you can get into the server remotely, and you don't have a need to be near it again. But the problem is the SSH connection. It gives you a unique password every time you run the installer. So I could get the installer password, say, on one of my gaming PCs downstairs, but then when I run it on the server in the attic, it'll have a new password that I can only get by plugging a display in, which makes it entirely pointless, because the point was I don't have a display in the first place. So I've gone through a whole load of fiddling about, unpacking ISOs, repacking ISOs, putting bits in that's supposed to allow you to set your own password rather than it generating new ones each time. I haven't managed to get that to work. In fact, I've got to the point now where I can't be bothered anymore, so I'll just bring a display home from work tomorrow night and fix it that way. So that was a load of meddling yesterday that didn't really produce any useful help. But I know a lot about unpacking ISOs and repacking them now. So there you are. Mr. Nice has been busy painting, he says, and can't do his words of wisdom. So there's no words this week. If you can notice or not, I probably can't, I'm full of cold. I've started with a cold. Youngest boy had a cold start of the week, and I think he's passed it on to me, so not feeling the best. Cold weather not helping at all. So that's me done. So this is a bit of an ad hoc vlog, and it's going to be, I could have held the phone, I've just realised, in like landscape instead of portrait, and it would come out better. Oh, not doing it again. Tough. You're going to have to deal with this. Right, have a good week. Well, I was going to say have a good weekend, but it's the end of it now. So have a good week next week, and maybe I'll try and do the vlog on Friday like normal if I can. Okay, see you.